you? Well, this afternoon I brought you a card using the Gnome for the Holidays stamp set out of the August to December catalog using a special fold. It's the gatefold card fold, and I added a little twist to it, a little surprise. Now, I did do it live this afternoon. However, this evening when I was showing it to my grandchildren, we deleted it somehow. I'm not too sure which one of them did it, so I decided to come back on here this evening and redo the card for you. So let's get started. Hello, say hi as you're coming in. Okay, I lost you for a second there. Hi, Marion. How are you this evening? Not sure if you watched us earlier today, but I did bring this card to you this afternoon, like I was saying, and the video was deleted, so I'm coming back on. So we're using the Gnome for the Holidays, which is found on page 23 of the August to December catalog. Let's get started here. I am also using a piece of the Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper for this card, and I took my color cues from that. So we have a piece of Whisper White for the inside of the card that measures 4 by 5 1/4. We have a piece of DSP, which measures 1 1/2 by 4, and we can use either side, but I think I'm going to go with this side this evening. And then I have a piece of Misty Moonlight, which I changed from today's card. And this measures 1 3/4 by 4 1/4. Then we have 2 pieces of Whisper White that measure 2 by 5 1/4. And I have embossed them with the subtle textures embossing folder. I have a piece of Misty Moonlight that measures 4 1/2 by 3 1/4 and scored at 2 1/8. And then I have this piece of Whisper White that measures 2 by 3. I'm going to trim it down a little bit. I think this one's a little bit too long. And then our card base, which is Balmy Blue, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. And I've scored it at 2 1/8 from each side. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trim this piece down because that's the first one I'm going to stamp. And I don't want to stamp it with it on. Good. Oh, so you didn't see it today. Okay, well that's good. So now you're watching it now. So this needs to measure 3 inches. So let's trim that down. Okay, so we're going to take our stamps set and some Memento ink, and we are going to stamp on our 1 2-inch piece that I left a little space up here to stamp on, and we're stamping the phrase you're a friend like gnome other. So we're just going to stamp that up here very carefully, and it fit on just like that. We'll set those 2 pieces aside. On a scrap piece of Whisper White, I am stamping the little gnome in my Memento ink, and he's just going to go right there. We're going to color him and cut him out in a minute. Now, I am going to be using this tree house, this tree trunk house, and we're going to omit the Christmas tree lights. By omitting those, we're changing this from a holiday card to a winter card. Let me move my light a little bit. I think it's a little bit too bright there. Okay, so I am going to take my marker on its side and just ink up the top of the tree, not hitting those Christmas lights. Then I'm going to go below the Christmas lights, and on the side of the marker, just color those tree I guess, the bark of the tree right around those lights, just like that. Then I'm going to pick up my Early Espresso Stampin' Spot, and I'm going to ink up the rest of the stamp. Okay, we're going to huff and stamp this right on here. Okay, now I've omitted the center there where those lights were, so we're going to use the Early Espresso pen, Stampin' Right marker, and just make some little squiggly lines completing that bark. And right around here we need to complete the door to the little house, little gnome house. And all we're doing is connecting these lines that weren't connected because of the lights. Okay, and as you can see, really can't see a difference. Okay, now we're going to start coloring this in. I'm going to take my light Call Me Clover, and I'm going to do the door with my Stampin' Blend. And just color that all in. Okay, now I'm going to take my Just Jade, and it's the light Just Jade, and I'm going to color around the door a little bit, and the frame of the window, and then my leaves. Just very quickly. We're not worried about the top at all at this point. Okay, now I'm going to take my dark soft suede, and I'm going to give it a little bit of shading around the door and up some spots in my tree trunk, just to give it some dimension. Sorry. There we go. Now I'm going to take my light soft suede and color in my tree trunk. And just like that. Just coloring this in. Now I've got a few friends that I am needed to make some cards for, winter cards. So I came up with this idea. Now I'm going to take my gray granite. That's not my gray granite. Hang on. I had these all organized earlier. My dark gray granite. And I'm going to color in just some of this grass, because this is a winter scene. And I'm also going to color these rocks going up to the door. Guess that's the little path. And make some more down here. I'm going to take my light Pool Party, and I'm just going to go along the base of that trunk, and then just make some swishes in the snow, just creating some snowy effect on the ground. Now I want to do a little bit darker with the dark Pool Party, creating some shadows, and however you want. Okay, now I'm going to take the dark Purple Posy and color in this door handle, and then we want some light shining out of that window, the door, so we're going to use our dark Mango Melody. And I'm just going to grab whichever one this is here and make some dark spots right there around that knot. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to take this, I want to tear it along the top there. And what that does is create that tree was torn off. Now this is going to go on the front of this piece of Misty Moonlight. Yes, Just want to make sure I had it right. Oops. And take my bone folder, and I want a good crease there. I don't want that sticking up. Okay, with my Stampin' Seal, I'm going to go ahead and attach that to the card front. Doing it the right way. Make sure, fold, yep. Just going to put it right on there. Okay, that is done for now. We're going to go ahead and color our little gnome. So for him, we need our ivory for his nose and his face and his hands here. Then I'm going to take my light Rococo Rose and give his nose a little bit of a blush, and then go back to my ivory and blend that in a little bit so it's not so stark. Okay, we're going to color the rest of our gnome here, and I'm taking the dark Pool Party and just going along the edges here of his hat, creating a shadow. The light purple Posy, we're going to blend that in, and I'm going to leave a white line up the center to create some dimension on this hat. Okay, now we need to do his outfit, and I decided to do it in Pool Party. So we're going to do his little arms here in Pool Party and his boots. Just coloring them in, not worrying about shading them because they're so small. Now I'm going to take my light smoky slate, and I am going to shade in his mustache a little bit. Just a little bit of shading. Just following his beard. Now I'm going to take my color lifter, and I'm going to lift up some of that color. I don't want that gray to be so predominant in his beard, and I want to give a little bit of highlights and lowlights to it. And as that dries, that will dissipate and blend in. I'm going to reach for my light smoky slate again, and I'm going to color in this bell. Okay, we're going to grab our paper snips. We're going to cut him out real quick. And this only takes a second. This card would be great. This fold is great for an assortment of cards, any occasion you have. You can take this little guy. He can be celebrating a birthday. Even though he has snowflakes on there, I think it looks a little magical, like magical stars also. So you could be wishing somebody a happy birthday or just a happy snow day. And gnomes have bells on their hats and on their toes, so he goes great for any winter celebration, I believe. I just think these gnomes are just too dang cute. Okay, so we have all our pieces. I'm going to move my blends out of the way here and grab our card base, and let's start putting it together. We have these two pieces. This piece is going to go on the left side, so these are going to fold in. And when I adhere them, I'm going to adhere it all the way to the center and not leave any reveal on this side. So I just take my fingernail and line that up, checking the up and down reveal to make sure those are kind of even. Okay, and I'm going to take and fold that in, burnish that fold, fold the other one and burnish that fold, and now we're going to adhere the second piece of Whisper White. By bringing it into the center, we're going to line the top and the bottom up here. It's going to appear that the card is a full card front. Okay, we have our designer series paper here, and that strips, so we are going to go ahead and attach those on. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. Now we're going to attach this to our card front. And we're going to put that on the right side. And just about right here. We're going to take this one and we're going to adhere it to the left side. And I'm just putting adhesive along the fold because it is going to overlap and I don't want to glue it down. So we are going to put this right about here, like that. Now we have our little gnome, so we're going to take some dimensionals. It's helping my grandson do some Lego stuff today, and he found a couple pieces. The Legos are from my 3 sons growing up, and he found a couple pieces that had wheels that had some rust on them, and I was using my take your pick tool to scrape it off, and I don't know what I did with it afterwards. I put it someplace so that he would stay away from it. So we're going to put him just so that his hand is just over that flap. Okay, just like that. Now you're going to notice that I didn't put anything under here yet. And that's because I am going to take some of our metallic ribbon. This is some of my favorite ribbon. And just cut off a piece. We're going to take it and twist it. Okay, it doesn't have to be in the middle. I'm going to fold it in half. Then I'm going to take a dimensional and put one on the top to hold it and one on the bottom. This will help hold it in place and keep it from untwisting. Oh, you know, since I started using my take your pick tool on these dimensionals, when I don't have it, it's like I never didn't have it, you know. I forget how easy it is now. I'm going to lift his head up and put this way down at the base. So this is just going to add a little bit of shimmer and shine to this card, just like that. Now we have those stones here, and I love these blue adhesive back gems. So we're going to take some of these and adhere them on those stepping stones to the front door. I just thought these were so cute. Couldn't resist using them. And right there. Okay, so that's the front of our card so far. The inside of the card, I want to take my gnome again, and I'm going to clean off the base of him. I want him peeking into this card. Just going to ink him up and have him peeking in the side here, just like that. And it's okay that that didn't print all the way down. I don't worry about those things. We're going to color him with our pool party instead of the purple posy. So make him a little bit different, using the dark along the edges and then just bringing that in to the center, leaving a little bit of white. Grab our ivory again. Do his nose in his one hand. Just grab that Rococo Rose. Give him a little bit of blush on that nose. Look how bright that is. And just by going over it and blending it in, it seems to disappear. Grab my smoky slate, nope, dark granite, light smoky slate, and we're going to go ahead and just bring some of the beard on down. Take our color lifter, blend that in a little bit. And then we'll take our dark purple posy and color his arm. On this one, I'm going to use a purple posy for the bell instead. I'm going to leave the inside blank because I haven't decided yet if I'm going to use this for a birthday card or a hello card. And just set that on the center in the inside. And here is the surprise. This is going to go the inside of this card. My thought was putting a picture here, Or you put another piece of Whisper White and put a little bit of writing in there. That's going to tuck under there. This is going to tuck up and under him. And that's our surprise fold. So, just opens like that. So there's your gatefold card with a little surprise. Hope you guys have a great evening, and we'll see you again. Happy stamping.